Um, Again, you're going to have the ability to also edit special hours. So, for example, if you offer a happy hour or you only offer deliveries at a certain time, you can also edit those special hours in your profile. When it comes to the products tab, so this is a great way for you to get extra exposure to your products and upload your product catalog to your profile. This is beneficial because this is going to allow you to not only show up on searches, but also show up on the shopping and images tabs of Google. Okay. So again, this is a great way for you to gain exposure for your products. And you can upload your catalog to your profile. You'll be able to edit your services. Again, this is what it would look like if I was a shoe repair shop. I could add all these additional services like sole repair or conditioning or polishing. Again, these are all things that are just going to help you stand out from your competition. When it comes to photos, photos are key, right? I remember not too long ago, in fact, probably more than 10 years ago now, when we would see somebody snap a photo of their latte art or their photos or their food, right? And we thought people were crazy back then, because why would you take a photo of your latte art, right? And that's because the era of social media allowed us to share our experiences with others. And so this is a great opportunity for you to be able to not only share your own photos, but the tool also allows you to capture and collect client photos. So clients are going to be able to upload photos as well to your profile. And this is a great way for you to be able to generate what we call user-generated content, okay? So I always tell small business owners or ask business owners, what would you do if you saw somebody take a photo of your product, okay? What would you do, right? And so hopefully you would go and say like, hey, thanks for taking the photo. Would you mind tagging me on that photo? Or, hey, that's a great photo. Would you mind if I repurpose that photo for my own social media and give you credit? So this is a way for you to be able to source potential content for your own social media, okay? There's all kinds of creative ways to share photos or the type of content with photos. We love before and after photos and videos. So before and afters, we love tips, insider tips. This is especially important for those of you that are in the service-based business or in the B2B space. Sharing tips is a great way for you to share content and videos, okay? So again, the videos, I will remind you, you can upload videos that are up to 30 seconds long, okay? Now, there's multiple ways for you to be able to use your profile to promote your business, okay? One of the easiest ways is to create updates, and updates are very similar to an update that you would do on another social media platform. So updates allow you to communicate directly and post updates on your profile. Now, here's a look at some post examples, okay? So you have the ability to create a general update. For example, we're gonna be closed on Easter, or we're gonna have a soft opening on this upcoming Friday, or we have any special announcement that you have to make. You can also create offers and tie an expiration date to those offers. And then you can also create events. So if you are having a soft opening, you can create an event on your profile and invite people to join you through the events tab. One thing that I particularly love about the profiles is the ability to be able to communicate and stay engaged with your customers even after they purchase from you, okay? And this is through reviews and the messaging tab, okay? So when it comes to reviews, a couple of things, okay? And I try to be careful with this section because I don't want to sound preachy, but one thing that I do find a lot, or that can occur quite often, is that we forget to ask for reviews, okay? Or we're shy about asking for reviews. And I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with asking for reviews, okay? We live in what's known as the trust economy, where now we're not just relying on a cousin an aunt, an uncle, or brother, or sister for referrals, but we're counting on strangers and we're trusting strangers to help us with reviews. Okay, so this is all part of the trust economy. Very similar to how I can get into a stranger's car and rely on them to give me a ride to my destination through like an Uber app, for example. Ubers are part of the trust economy, okay? So reviews, okay, again, these are user-generated content as well, is a great way for you to be able to capture, okay, reviews and allow people to learn how great you are by allowing your existing customers to talk about their experience with you, okay? So first and foremost, okay, we have to remind ourselves and remember to ask for reviews. And that is either through training our team to learn how to ask for reviews, reminding customers through like an email campaign on a receipt, for example, hey, can you take a few minutes to leave us a review? And then provide a link to your Google profile so that way they can leave a review directly on your Google profile, okay? Now, once we learn and master the art of asking for a review, we have to respond to the reviews, acknowledge the reviews. So this isn't just about asking and then ignoring them, okay? So again, a lot of business owners are either intimidated by the reviews, don't know how to respond to reviews, especially if they're not positive reviews, okay? Again, I would take ownership of those reviews because it is important for potential customers and customers to see that you've responded to those reviews, okay? This is also really good because there may actually be something wrong and you may not be aware. And reviews are often a good way for you to be alerted of something that's not working well, okay? So if you see 5 or 6 consistent reviews stating that the food is salty, maybe you want to talk to your chef and say, hey, you know, there's feedback that our food is salty. So again, being able to capture that customer the intel is a great way for you to also improve your services that you offer, okay? So don't be afraid to ask and don't forget to acknowledge and respond to reviews, okay? So here's some additional quick tips on managing reviews. Again, I think what I find very helpful is that, you know, train your staff or your manager to help you with these reviews or, you know, regularly. And Google does send you an alert anytime somebody does leave you a review. So you will be alerted when a review is given. I would not think about it twice and I would acknowledge those reviews as they come in, okay? So earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that you will be able to enable the messaging tab. So the messaging tab is a great way for you to be able to provide customer support and also be able to answer questions directly through the messaging tab on, right now it's living in the Google Apps app, but you can respond to messages. And this is a great way for you to, again, provide customer support, answer frequently asked questions through the messaging tab. So there's additional attributes that you can incorporate. So through the dashboard, you're also going to be able to, for example, select special attributes that can help your business stand out from competition. So maybe you're a veteran-owned business, maybe you're a woman-owned business, a Black-owned business. So these are all things that you can add to your profile to help people understand a little bit more about who you are. You'll also be able to give and provide team members, staff, agencies that are maybe helping you with marketing access to your profiles. So you will be able to add users and then give them specific roles. Like, for example, you can give them, you can make them a primary owner, you can make them a manager, okay? So you do have control over what they have control over and what they can and cannot see of your profile. One thing that I also recommend is once you have your profile up and it's looking beautiful on the profile searches, is that you want to make sure that you also pay attention to the performance of your profiles. You know, you want to measure the success and the reach of your profiles. So Google does provide you with a performance dashboard, okay, where you're going to be able to see the activity that's taking place within your profile. Google also sends you a monthly recap of your profiles. So here, it's a little bit hard to read, but it's going to tell you How many people clicked on the directions tab? How many people visited your website directly from your profile? How many people called you or selected the call button? And it's also going to give you access to search terms. So if you have not yet built your list of keywords, okay, Google's report gives you an idea of the search terms that people used to find your business. So again, this is a great way for you to be able to build your business profile through the help of your profile, okay? Again, so if you have yet to claim your profile, first step for you would be to go to google.com/business to get started. Go ahead and claim your profile if a profile already exists, okay? And then once you create it, make it a habit of reviewing and updating your business information. Make sure that your hours of operation are accurate, that we're uploading photos and videos and posting regularly. And lastly, that we're paying attention to the performance of our profiles. And before I move on, I do want to remind you of our series. Again, we just completed this one. These are the remaining two. So feel free to join us for the remaining two. And I'm actually going to ask for feedback. So Google loves to hear from you. They want to hear about the success about your business. They want to hear about your takeaways from these presentations. So if you are interested and willing to provide us feedback, I invite you to follow the link or scan the QR code and leave us a review. Tell us, was this beneficial? Did I do a good job? We love to hear that type of feedback. Or if there's a particular topic that you want to hear us cover, we're always looking for that type of feedback. So Brian, before we get to Q&A, one thing that I do want to highlight is that Google does provide these marketing kits to help you promote your business profiles. I think that they're beautifully done. The graphics are beautiful. So you can actually download this marketing kit so that you can promote, especially those of you that have a brick and mortar location, to promote your profile. You can even print out customer reviews like you're seeing here. So this is a great way for you to let people know, one, that you have a profile, two, invite them to leave you a review, and then three, they can read what others are saying about your business. If you're interested in continuing your education like I do when it comes to marketing, Google does offer an app called Google Primer. You can learn on the go. And then lastly, if you want to learn more about what the Grow with Google program can do for your business, you can go to google.com/grow. Brian, feedback, thoughts, anything that came to mind as you heard me present?
Oh, of course. I have a couple, but I do want to make sure I noted one of the questions that came in that I think was a big one, because we know that you can post information on Google, but we forget that you can also post events. Mary Grenier was asking a question about posting her art show dates on her Google site.
Yep.
And yeah, the posts and updates and events tab that we saw during the presentation was good for that. But that was something new for me too. I did not know that you could use Google as an events calendar as well in that way. It's so many tools that we just don't take advantage of because we don't know. But I do see another question just came in. Or no, a comment. Sheila, she said she has a bunch of 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor already. Can they be linked? It's a good question.
No, so yeah, that's a separate one, and that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having reviews on multiple places online. Again, Google does recognize those, right? So there's nothing wrong with those. These the reviews that we're discussing are reviews that would live on your profile. So these will be visible on your profile. So that's the main difference.
Awesome. Great question, Sheila. Thank you for asking. So we wanted to make sure to allocate enough time for everyone to ask questions, or if they wanted to come off mute and even have a conversation. This time is for that. So you are in the webinar format of Zoom. So just raise your hand or pop in the chat, and we can allot you permission to talk as well. But this has been awesome. I've seen some great feedback in the chat for congratulating people on getting their reviews up. I mean,
I love that there's so many people that already have claimed their profile. So for those of you that have already claimed your profile, I mean, I hope that there was a couple things that you were able to take away from that. I know you were one step ahead of some folks, that, have not yet claimed their profile. But hopefully those of you that already had your profile, that there was something that you were able to get away from this today's presentation.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. That's very kind of you.
Mary,
Thank
the
you.
marketing kit is free. So there was a question in there about whether these profiles are free. These profiles are free. The marketing kits are also free. And
All good
I think
resources.
graphically they're beautiful, Brian. I think, for you to have like this template that's already done and all you have to do is fill it in, I mean, that's a big advantage.
I agree. And just for context, everyone, we will be sharing this PowerPoint deck as well. So you will be able to get access and recaps on all of these resources too. But good stuff. Oh, I see another question just popped in. Oh, nope.
Yeah, it was just a thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Steve. We're excited that you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you, Emilia. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you, Frank. Oh, blown away. Come on. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with Google. Israel, thank you. You've really given us some really good insight today.
Thank you, Brian. Well, there is definitely, a lot of tools out there. I mean, we covered some of those in our first webinar. And then again, so when I come back at the end of May, I'm going to talk about those tools that can help you with your website. So I did see a comment here that said that they want to be able to show up first rankings, right? So we're going to talk a lot about SEO, search engine optimization, keywords. So these are all things that, if you're not familiar with, you can do a little bit of a Google search to kind of learn it, because we're going to cover that a lot in my last presentation. Because it is a big topic that comes up, is how can I help for my website to show up first? So search engine optimization is going to be what we talk about, as well as keywords. Okay.
I saw one more in the chat here. It was from Frank. He was noting his business is strictly home-based.
There's nothing wrong with that, Frank. So there's a lot of businesses that are home-based. There's nothing wrong with that. So the one thing that I would mention that is, with these business profiles, the only thing we recommend is that you don't list your home address, because one, people will show up. Okay. And we just think your reach is going to be better is if instead you just let people know your service area. So that way you can expand your reach. So there's nothing wrong with having home-based businesses. In fact, there's a lot of home-based businesses. So nothing wrong with that.
Way to ask the question. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other comments? Okay, Frank popped back in. What
about using a mailing address? Yeah. So the only thing with your business profiles is you cannot list a PO box. Okay. So just again, if you have like a PO box, for example, that you do use for your business, you don't want to enter that in, because you don't want to point people to your PO box. Okay. Instead, again, just focus on your service area. I would get as detailed as you can. You can also let people know if you cover specific zip codes, only certain cities, a county. So just know Google doesn't allow you to list a PO box.
I want to ask one follow-up question on that, because so as some of you may know, we do have a co-working space here at Ampax Ecosystem here in Ontario. And for folks who are reserving our offices long-term, they use our address as well. But we have also been pointing folks to virtual business addresses, because there are online services that provide you a virtual business address that you can use for mail and for filing for your business registration. Would you recommend that for a Google profile?
So we do see this where there's, like, for example, multiple businesses operating out of, like, for example, we see this with like food establishments, right? Where there's these like food destinations now that have, 10, 20 restaurants in under one umbrella. Most of those places also have like a unit number, right? So if you have a unit number, that's fine. I mean, it's going to help you differentiate yourself from the competition, or from not the competition, I'm sorry, but from your neighbors. So if you do have like a unit number, you can also, that's going to definitely help with your business profiles, listing that out. But I'm not familiar with the virtual ones, Brian. I don't know what that would mean, honestly. I don't know if I've ever come across a business that has a virtual address.
Yeah, it's something I've found out more about recently, actually.
Yeah, I should look into that though, because that's a really good, that's great actual service. I would want to know how that would look like on a profile.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, but Frank, to answer your last question, what is a virtual business address? I'll drop in the chat here a link to a virtual business website for California. It's a service where you can basically not use your home address, but have a professional business address
Yeah,
that you can
that's
put on
interesting.
your
I
content.
wonder if that's like a solution to the PO boxes, because Google won't let you list the PO box. So I'm gonna look into this. I'm bookmarking it now, and I'm gonna bring this up to have a discussion around this. So thank you for sharing that, Brian.
Awesome. Hey, it all goes back to the community. Thank you again for asking the question. Awesome. Awesome. All right. All right. Well,
Excellent.
hey, if you all haven't gotten enough interest already, I hope you're tuning in for the next round. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time, 12 to 1 p.m. And we're really looking forward to having Israel's colleague, Joan Stanford, Jazzy Penn, back with us. And then Israel will be back for our last session, closing out our online optimization camp, as he noted, making websites work for you. So we're really excited. Looking forward to it, Frank. Thank you. Israel, can't thank you enough, man.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the space and for gathering. Looks like there was 21 businesses this afternoon, which is great. We got a little bit of networking in. We even got a discount to Sedona. I hope somebody takes advantage of that. But Brian, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you all next week. Have a great day, you all.
Be well.
You as well. Bye-bye.